I'm with Kathy Pickering, Belfast Harbormaster. And Kathy, you are looking to find the right person to be your number two, right?
Howard's going to be tough to replace. Yeah.
How long has Howard been working for you? And I understand that he works a lot of hours in the summer.
Yeah, he does. He's been here at least 17 years. And he typically puts in 40 hours a week, but sometimes he does do more. But he works from, depending on the weather, the beginning of April through mid-November. So it's the whole summer plus some.
If someone is interested in this job, I'd like you to tell me like what you're looking for and, what are the good points and bad points of the job.
Well, I guess first of all, you have to be okay with working outside in the weather because it's a job that requires you be outside a lot. Which is kind of what you would expect with a job like this. In the spring and the fall, generally we're doing maintenance, trying to get the floats in good shape and repair work and get the shore power and plumbing hooked up.
So being a handy person,
Yep.
and we're not talking, it could be a man or a woman, but
That's right.
it requires someone who's got some good carpentry skills and those maybe the more skills, the better, I guess.
Yep, doesn't mind breaking fingernails or scratching your hands up or things like that. Yeah, yeah, you're working on the floats a lot, and they can be slimy and barnacles and whatnot. So but again, if you like to be outside and doing that kind of work around the water, it's something you have to expect.
And then during the summer, what does the assistant do?
He primarily helps us run the docks. We have like a marina here with the launch ramp and the fuel and ice and getting boats in and out every day.
So when I call in, true confessions, I have a boat and I occasionally come into Belfast from Bayside. I say, hey, I want to get some gas. I call in on either my cell phone or my marine radio, and that would be not necessarily the assistant harbor master. It could be you have a couple like seasonal helpers, but it could be I've gotten you before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you tell me whether there's room there or what I should do, and so I imagine being good with the public is like super important, I would think, because
Yeah.
in a way, for many boaters coming off the water, you're almost a representative of the town.
Yep. Yep. We're quite often the first people that people meet the first time they come into town, especially by boat, but even occasionally when they drive down here because they're lost. Mm-hmm. But it is very important to be good with people. It's really a public relations job. And you meet all kinds of people. I mean, when you look at the good part of that, you meet some just truly interesting people. You do have to, we do, sell a lot of products down here between the slip rent and the dockage and ice and fuel and whatnot. So you do have to be good with numbers. It really helps if you're organized. And that comes in when you're placing boats in the slips or on the moorings and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So you have a good sense of what's safe for a certain size boat.
Right, and you know which rental moorings are the right ones for the right size boats and everything like that.
Yep.
Do you have to have some supervisory responsibilities too? Because I know that I think there's at least 1 or 2 high school kids who've helped me pump gas.
Yes, we usually have between 3, 4, sometimes 5 attendants, and they work anywhere from 20 hours to 40 hours. But the assistant does supervise them when I'm not. And the assistant also shares with me the emergency response situation. So we don't let anybody else run the boat to do that particular work.
Oh, like if somebody's calling in a Mayday and they're right, within short distance,
Yep.
they may hop in the harbor master boat and go out and do a rescue?
Yep.
Good things about the job so far. I've heard you say if you like people, it's a good job. Mm-hmm. If you like working outdoors and messing around with boats, it's a good job. The bad things so far I've heard is you have to deal with like weird, ornery people and still keep your composure, and you have to deal with really miserable weather where you still have to do stuff.
Yeah.
So what are the other goods and bads that that people want to know? Because I think this should be the right person will say, okay, I get it. I still want to do it.
Yeah, you really have to be okay with things changing every day because you never know. It's very difficult to plan anything because you never know when something's going to come up that you'll have to take care of it, and that will happen all the time because boats can't wait. If you have a boat coming in that's in trouble or you have a windy day or a day with a lot of current, you have to spend more time on the docks helping people in and out. It is a very physical job. Getting boats in and off the dock, if you do it properly, you can do it safely and nobody can get hurt, but it only takes a split second where line slips off the cleat or somebody puts the boat in gear the wrong way, something like that, where it could, you really have to think quickly and be fast on your feet to avoid accidents.
So if you think you may have some of those, but you don't know if you have all the proper credentials, what proper credentials do you have to have? Or will you train people on, passing whatever it is, the Assistant Harbormaster's test, or are there such things?
Yeah, the only thing the state requires, because it is a state-appointed job, is that you take the basic Harbormaster Association training in Castine, which happens in March, and it's a 2.5-day training session. But other than that, it's based on what each municipality requires. We hope to have somebody that does have some water experience, maintenance experience. We will train people, but it's always a little bit better if you do have some experience under your belt, especially working in these conditions. It'll make it a little bit easier. And of course, wanting to work outside.
So I was thinking like the ideal candidate, because it's, through the summer, and this might be someone who's like right now down in the Bahamas or someplace like that, but they couldn't make it up here for the March Harbormaster training. So that would be that's kind of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is kind of a long summer when you think of it as a seasonal position. I mean, from April through November, it takes up most of your summer.
I had an idea. You could work for like UPS doing seasonal deliveries in the around Christmas time, then take a couple months off in the hot Bahamas, and then come back and take this job.
That's a good idea. We have had a difficult time getting applicants. I think part of it is because it's a very kind of a particular kind of job, but also where it's part-time currently. There are really no benefits. It's part-time seasonal, but the council is considering making it a full-time position.
You're interviewing people right now, I understand.
Yeah, we are just doing initial interviews. If somebody is interested in applying for the position, it would be really helpful to get your application in within the next couple of weeks, because we hope to get the interviews done and actually hire somebody before we get busy this spring. So, and again, that would be in April, which is right around the corner. So,
it's amazing how quick that comes around. I'm already getting the seed catalogs for things to plant. So, okay. All right, folks. Well, I hope I hope you know somebody, because it would be really great to find just the right person for Kathy. Or for the city, but I think of you being someone who would really benefit by having the right person. But and again, thanks for talking with me today about things around the harbor. You can tell I'm a bit of a like the water myself, so it's really fun to come down here. And until next time, this is Ned Leitner for Somewhere in Waldo County.